It is 6:48. This is your morning in 8 minutes. A fifth person is now facing charges in a deadly shooting that killed two people, including a 2-year-old.
The shooting happened on Valentine's Day in Sweetwater. Investigators say 4 men tried breaking into a home on Hawkins Road and started shooting. Now, during the shooting, multiple people were shot, including that 2-year-old and one of the suspects. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Nathaniel McEwen is connected to this shooting. Police found him in Florida after being on the run. A grand jury indicted him on several charges, including felony murder and attempted murder. The 4 other suspects are facing similar charges. Right now, we're following reports of a body found on the side of the road in Jefferson County. Deputies responded to the 1400 block of Phillips Road. Crews closed the road for several hours as they cleared the scene. It's now reopened this morning. We'll update you as soon as we learn more information.
And we're learning more about the victim of a deadly July 4th crash in South Knoxville. Police say 54-year-old Mark Anthony Dinkins of Seymour died after his car went off the road and hit a utility pole. Knox County Sheriff's deputies say it happened just after midnight on West Marine Road.
And the man charged with kidnapping and murder of Memphis mother Eliza Fletcher could be sentenced to death. A
judge says he wants his trial to move swiftly. Cleotha Henderson is accused of kidnapping, murdering, and tampering with evidence in the death of Eliza Fletcher. Fletcher was reported missing last September after going for a jog near the University of Memphis. Her body was found nearly a week later. Cleotha Henderson was already facing rape allegations, but the woman says the kit was not tested until nearly a year after the rape. Shelby County's district attorney says the graphic evidence of Fletcher's death is why he'll ask the jury to seek a death penalty. Cleotha is pleading not guilty. Progress being made for victims of sexual assault here in Tennessee.
Well, the TBI says it's getting rape kits processed faster. A new report shows the agency has now cut the wait time to process these kits in half. This comes after a push for answers following the case of Eliza Fletcher. The kits are used as evidence in court to prosecute rape and assault suspects. The report says this time last year, crime labs spent 11 months on average processing kits. They've also cut their kit backlog in half from a 12-month high. State Senator Brent Taylor says the TBI is increasing lab staff. The state added 50 new crime lab scientists, 24 of them hired within the last year.
And for the first time ever, the FDA has granted full approval to a drug proven to slow the progression of Alzheimer's.
The move is seen as a major breakthrough in the fight against the disease. The FDA's approval means the drug is now available for coverage by Medicare. This is the first drug shown in trials to slow the progression of the disease. Right now, centers are gearing up for an anticipated surge in new patients. Now, the drug is called Leqembi. It's administered through an IV once every 2 weeks. The drug does carry some risks, and while experts agree the drug is a major turning point, they also warn it's not a cure and was only tried in people with early Alzheimer's disease. Well, if you're hoping to travel outside the country, you want to make sure to get your passport well ahead of time.
Yeah, check the expiration date. You might need to get yours renewed or just check to make sure it's not lost. Some countries, by the way, won't let you come if you're just a couple of months away from it being expired. Right now, estimated processing times for a new passport is 10 to 13 weeks. You can speed that up to 7 to 9 weeks by paying $60 for an expedited process. The State Department says it's working to process applications faster, but officials don't expect to get back to pre-pandemic processing times until the end of the year. Part of that's due to a surge in demand. The new online renewal system is expected to launch by the end of this year. And Ocean Gate, the owner of the sub that imploded during a trip to the Titanic, says it's officially suspended operations. All 5 people on board were killed, including the company's CEO. The Coast Guard is still investigating what caused the disaster. However, the site still shows expedition offerings, including tours of the Titanic. The Titan was about an hour and 45 minutes into its trip before it lost contact on June 18th. Right now, a man's in custody after being accused of making threats to flight attendants while on board a flight.
The Alaska Airlines flight from Atlanta to Seattle was diverted. According to police, the man made a bomb threat. The plane was diverted to Washington as a precaution, and the 177 passengers on board were evacuated. Now, the county bomb squad processed the plane, and that person was taken into custody. The U.S. Postal Service is making some changes. It will soon cost you more to send off first-class mail. Starting Sunday, the price for a Forever stamp will go up 3 cents from 63 to 66 cents. The price to send a domestic postcard will also increase to 51 cents. The U.S. Postal Service says the increase is designed to offset the rise in inflation. This marks the second price hike, though, this year for a Forever stamp. Tennessee's largest pop culture event is back this weekend. We're talking about the Fanboy Expo. It starts today at the Knoxville Convention Center. It lasts through Sunday. You can meet the actors from The Lord of the Rings, Willy Wonka, I think Seinfeld.
Yeah, you can meet Newman. You can say, hello, Newman.
You know where Harry will be this weekend. Well, the Hotter Than July Mimosa and Margarita Festival is at Lakeshore Park tomorrow.
This is where I'm
It starts at 3 o'clock and lasts until 8. You can buy tickets now for $20. Tomorrow they're going to be $25. You get a free mimosa or margarita with your ticket. There's also going to be vendors, food trucks, and a DJ. And if you live in Fort Sanders, you might need to move your car.
Yeah, they're pretty important here. The city of Knoxville starting its annual Fort Sanders Summer Roundup tomorrow. The city does this every year while the UT students are on break. Tomorrow, crews will be sweeping the streets and picking up trash in the east-west avenues in the neighborhood like Clinch, Highland, and Grand. On Sunday, they'll switch to the areas between 17th and 11th Street. If you park along one of the streets on this map, you need to move your car before work starts at 6 a.m. or else it'll be towed. You can visit the WVLT News app if you need to see those maps again.
It is 6:54. Let's get a look at your traffic on this Friday with Whitney.
Fog is the main concern as you head out the door on this Friday morning, so get those low beams on. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going safely. This is a look at those foggy views you could run into. This is I-40 at West Hills. Can barely make out the cars on the interstate there. Those views do vary though. Taking a look at Alcoa Highway south of Cherokee Trail. Visibility much better there. Volume still pretty light. This is an area where crews will be out working to start widening Alcoa Highway. Heads up, this project is getting underway between Cherokee Trail and Woodson Drive. You're going to see extensive crews, possibly even lane closures and delays as they work to get that roadway widened for you. It's up to 6 lanes there. Right now, those interstates and main roads are on time. Just be careful out there.
Your First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
And 6:55 now. Fog is actually much more widespread across the Tennessee-Kentucky line, and then patchy once you come down Anderson County. Most of the county seeing that fog, and then patches in parts of the south to central valley. So just that few extra minutes, like Whitney said, a good idea. And those upper 60s to low 70s temperatures can't budge much between the layers of clouds above the fog. It all adds up. So you can see the views of those clouds here looking towards the Smokies, and then the haze and fog closer to the mountains, going up a hill even, is where you'll find some more of that fog. We're also finding more clouds streaming through, at least for part of the day. So if you're trying to make your weekend plans, know that we are at least slightly less humid by this afternoon. Now remember, tomorrow is when we're going to have some more rain and storms late. The first batch really coming in. Now it's stray pop-ups today, spotty tomorrow, and then we'll get our first batch of some good ½ an inch to some inch rainfall by the end of Saturday. And then we'll have more on and off scattered storms on Sunday as well. So that's where we are seeing those downpours and storms kind of adding up at times for your weekend. So that Sunday to Monday is when temperatures take a hit with that on and off rain and storm trend. So make sure you join us on the CW starting at 7, and I'll walk you through that latest First Alert Futurecast.
All right, Heather, thanks. I'm looking forward to any little bit of a temperature cool down. I'll take it. All right, we'll see you over on WVXX.